Hey guys, welcome back to the Doom Eternal series. This is episode 11, and today we're going through Urdak. This dimension is pretty much Doom's equivalent to Heaven, and this level is all about us changing it into Hell. We'll also get to do a bunch of other cool things like exploring, preventing a heart transplant, and waking up this motherfucker. Oh, and also killing God. Unlike one of those chill gods like Zeus or that one stoner, this god is
the god of vengeance and horror.
And action!
I'm just kidding, she's the god of easy boss fights, and she's annoying as hell with her long, pointless speeches and cutscenes. Thankfully, we get to finally silence her divine ass, but that comes later. For now, all you gotta do is sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. I actually know the organ donor for that heart. It's like me getting up in the morning. Oh, never mind, it's not at all like me getting up in the morning. He's leaving right away. Takes me like 30 minutes to get out of bed and go. Wee. Oh shit. Alright, story time. So about a week ago, I downloaded Doom 2016 and began playing it for the first time in 3 years. When it was about halfway downloaded and well beyond the ready to start point, I began playing it. I was greeted by the same old menu screen I remember, and I was surprised to see my old save file was still sitting there. I decided to start a new game instead, and there have been few moments in my life that were weirder than what happened next. It started normally with the red symbol on the black background, but it's safe to say it didn't stay normal. As it faded into the opening cutscene, I thought my brightness was incredibly low because everything was pitch black. The environment looked like it was running on Halo CE graphics with the lowest amount of light possible. The only things that looked normal were projectiles and other glowing objects. Entities were pitch black, like impossible to see, and the environment looked just foggy. It seemed almost as if I was playing Doom in black and white. I mean, I know the games are old, but I didn't know they predated color film. Since nearly everything was the same color, I barely got through the unwilling that surrounded me in the first 3 seconds. Cutscenes set almost everything the exact same color, so it wasn't exactly easy to see what was happening. I got through the enemies, but imps became absolutely ruthless. They're already known to be way more powerful of an opponent in Doom 2016, but because of their destroyed textures, they were just straight up invisible. The only way to see them was to spot their projectiles, and that meant that I got hit by one almost every time I found an imp. I'm making it sound worse than it was, because the first level wasn't actually too overkill. The environment was well lit, and the colors were bright enough that I could see. I didn't do horribly, and it was actually kind of easy at times. The enemies were all weak enough that I could kill them in one shot, especially after I got the explosive slug, but those factors which would normally give me an edge only leveled the playing field. Thankfully, I've got that level almost entirely memorized, so it was easy to navigate, but the story about that is for another day. Level 2 is horrible. The environment was pitch black in several areas where enemies were spawning, and it made unwilling my new nightmare. Despite them being incredibly weak in the game, they were absolute monsters because of the fact that they were entirely invisible. There were only 2 ways to kill them. Option 1 was to try and locate the sound of their groan or wait until they attacked so I could pinpoint their location. Option 2 was to shoot every shell I had into every corner of the map, all while praying that I hit something. Another problem that has persisted even days later is the gameplay differences between Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal. Even after having the game fully downloaded and the poor textures being removed, the gameplay still screws me up. The first thing I notice is explosions. My explosive slug always seems to blast me into orbit even when I think I'm well out of its blast radius. This has also made me blow myself up with a rocket launcher way more than I should. The second thing that absolutely ruins me in fights is the chainsaw. I'll press X as a Hell Knight or something is approaching me, but instead of it automatically ripping through the enemy, I just get shredded like cheese. The only times I remember how the chainsaw works is during fights where the enemies don't instantly kill me, like when I'm dealing with one possessed or something. Another thing I've noticed that throws me off is damage output. On a good day in Doom Eternal, I can stagger a Hell Knight with 1 shot from the super shotgun, but in Doom 2016, I'll have to shoot them 3 or 4 times. The other day, I shot a Hell Knight and immediately turned to deal with some imps because I thought it was staggered. That fight ended shortly after, and you can probably guess who won. The final thing that destroys me is the lack of double jump, dash, and meat hook. In Doom Eternal, I've gotten really comfortable with maneuvering around enemies using those tactics, but in Doom 2016, I've jumped off a ledge, sadly more than once, with the intention of, bringing myself back with meat hook, and then I'm just falling to my death. I'm so used to double jump and dash that I'll carelessly jump to a platform far out of reach in Doom 2016 and then fall to my death only to respawn a mile away. I really appreciate Doom Eternal just dealing damage when you fall, because I would have thrown my Xbox across the room at this point had they kept that feature from Doom 2016. Like, what is up with that? Why am I dying and respawning like an eternity away when I just fall a little bit too far? Back to the lower damage thing though, I do kind of understand it. In Doom Eternal, damage seems far greater, but then again, your ammo reserves are very low. Maximum number of shells you can carry is 24, while in Doom 2016, it's 60. 60. The minimum number of shells is 24. The same as Doom Eternal's maximum. It's insane.
The Khan Maykr is near. She cannot let you leave this place alive. She is invulnerable when she has the orb within her chest. Once removed, her defenses will be down.
For millennia we have survived. Made others sacrifice in the name of our prosperity, so that they may in turn find redemption. Who are you? A human, once a mortal, you defy our traditions.
On another topic, I should really talk about my strategy for fighting the Khan Maykr. Yes, I know what I said in episode 1 about no tutorials, but I feel I should help the noobs out a little. So to deal with the Khan Maykr, you need to know how she works. She will attack you, turn the battlefield into a game of floorless lava, and summon weaker enemies that can beat the crap out of you. The trick is to prepare a selection of equipment and then follow my strategy. For runes, you're going to want Chrono Strike and Air Control. For dealing with the Maykr drones, you're going to need the Precision Bolt mod, and for the Khan Maykr, you want either micro missiles or lock-on rockets. Now let's get to the strategy. When the battle starts, use Precision Bolt to headshot all the Maykr drones in your immediate vicinity. If you need armor, then Flame Belch one of the Maykr drones before you headshot them. After dealing with them, swap to either micro missiles or use your rocket launcher with lock-on rockets, and then head to the bouncer in the middle of the battle area and launch yourself up into the air while activating your weapon mod. This slows down time using Chrono Strike so you can make sure your homing weapons always hit their target. As you fall back down, stop firing your weapon and look down so you can aim for the bouncer. This negates fall damage and prevents you from, faltering, and launches you back up so you can immediately follow up with another attack cycle. This also keeps you moving way too fast for anyone, Khan Maykr or Maykr drone, to get a good hit on you. If you have the ammo, use the BFG. I recommend using it right after the Khan Maykr enters a new phase so none of the damage is wasted after she's stunned. Never count on the BFG for getting her to her next phase though. This can lead you to assume she'll be stunned when in reality she's preparing her next bombardment of attacks. If you've used up all your homing weapons, swap to the Ballista. It has a damage buff against flying enemies and it will tear through the Khan Maker's health. Both mods for it aren't that effective against her, so I recommend just using it normally, but it does launch you backwards though, so air control comes in handy when using it. The worst weapons against the Khan Maykr are the shotguns because she's out of their range all the time, and an unmodded rocket launcher is also really bad because it moves too slow and it will almost always miss her because she can just dodge normal stuff. So something moving that slow is not gonna hit her. thank you for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, and subscribe.